Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Halvonis video, and we're going to be talking about Warlords of Draenor's itemization today. So, they start this off by saying, getting new items should feel exciting. Right now it feels like you have to do a lot of hard work just to take some joy in some items that you get. They're going to be changing a lot of things for us to alleviate this process. First off, hit and expertise don't really feel like a bonus, so they're gone now. Just simply gone. They're gonna take them away, and they're just gone. So, no hit cap, no expertise cap anymore. Those superficial guides saying expertise this and cap this and all this stuff, those are gonna be null and void now because there's no hit or expertise. For you tanks, dodge and parry, that's gone too. We're getting rid of those. They felt that the armor buff you get, and I'm actually going to show you in game here right now the stat that they're talking about, and the stat in question that they're talking about. So I'll go down here to defenses. So you can see here that I have dodge, parry, block, and PvP resilience. Now if we look here at armor, it reduces physical damage taken by 55.25%. So basically a kind of a percentile of the amount of armor you have on right now. So instead of parry, dodge, and all that stuff, your armor value is going to be it's going to make sure that you're not getting hit so hard, or you're not that when it says a physical damage reduction taken, it's probably going to say just damage in general after Warlords of Draenor. And if it does, that basically means that we are getting a tank with a high armor class. He's a tank for that reason because he has a high armor class and he is going to be able to take those hits. So you're not going to have someone in plate gear run up and say, I'm a tank now because I can have a melee. I'm a melee and I have all these tank stats and blah 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 bullshit. So that all the parry and all that's gonna be gone. Reforging, that's gone. You don't need to reforge your hit and crit and your hit and stats all all that anymore because you're not gonna have most of your stats. As far as we know, mastery, crit, and haste are staying, but we're going kind of back to an old world vanilla style of stat system, which I am all for trying, and I hope it works out for us. So, enchanting is still around, but fewer items are going to be enchanted. There are going to be more enchantment choices for said items that are left, though. So, in a way, that this kind of is a big FU to enchanters, as Toray will always tell you it is. Basically, while there's not going to be a set awesome thing that's going to be for your enchantment, if you have the ability to have an item enchanted, you're going to have a little bit of options, some varieties. Maybe there's going to be an enchant that increases your armor and deals damage back, or increases your armor and then has a chance to increase your strength. Different kind of things like that. And it's going to work, I think, in a sense. It's going to take some adjusting to, but I think people are going to grow accustomed to it. So, the number of items with gem sockets are going to be gone. And we're going to only have one gem per item now. So, let's take a look here. I have pants that have 3 gem slots in them. So, as per Warlords of Draenor rules, I would have 1 socket, but the gem that we're getting is going to be super powerful for that socket, which means those 3 are just basically condensed into 1 now. Maybe instead of, it's hard to say when you don't know a lot about it yet, and we're just going to have to wait and see how it works out. But from my perspective, I think it's a turn in the right direction. There's going to be people complaining, but people will adjust to it. So, The stats on armor will now change based on your spec. Plate drops will have whatever stat your class needs for it. So, for instance, I am a Death Knight. I get Frost gear. When I turn to Blood spec, all the gear is changed over to what that gear would be for my Blood spec. And then I get the stats from the Blood spec on that gear. This basically is to save us from having to have so many gear slot bags, like in our banks or in our void storage or even in our bags itself. Like if we look here in my bags, I have like a whole bunch of vanity items, sets of gear, and then not in Mists of Pandaria, but in Warlords of Draenor, vanity items, gear is not going to be in our bags. We don't have to worry about it. And those, the only thing that we're going to have to worry about is transmog gear. Which, again, can be accompanied by your follower or whatever, because you can send them on missions to get that type of gear. Jewelry, cloaks, trinkets, and weapons will be more role-focused and might keep stats. So, what they mean is, you see how a weapon back in the day didn't have stats. It didn't say haste, mastery, crit. What it said was your strength, your stamina, your DPS, what it does, what specialization it is, if it's soulbound or not, durability, all that stuff. It had nothing to do with complicated, number crafting and theory crafting, things like that. It's going to go back to that. So this weapon, come Warlords of Draenor, might only have the strength and stamina on it. And that will be fine because everything will be balanced out. Armor will become good tanking stat again, and Spirit will be really good for healers. That's just, basically a thing. So, the other thing we have is Toray stats, or Teratry stats. I guess that's what they're called. They're bonus stats that can appear on gear, but don't count towards the item level budget. I.e., they could have lifesteal upon hit, avoidance, sturdiness, movement speed. They can all stack with other bonuses such as cleave and more. So if I'm on a warrior and I have a cleave set of armor, when I hit my cleave button, my cleave is going to hit for quite a bit of damage instead of just a lot of damage. It's going to increase the damage and maybe the threat gained from bonuses. Item squishes in. All big jumps from old expansions and raid tiers will be flattened. The example they used was someone who had, I'm guessing it was like 500k stamina. So right now in tank spec, I have close to 800k health. Now, come Warlords of Draenor, I may only have 18k health. And that is going to all be everything is going to be squished down. So it's going to be like we are playing, again, vanilla. We're going back to our roots. Everything, like Mists of Pandaria was supposed to be going to our roots. This was just a test. Warlords of Draenor, we're going back to the orcs versus humans, the faction fights, not just Garrosh being an asshole. We're going back to faction fights, and Garrosh is still an asshole. And your relative power won't change, just the numbers. And the speed at which you kill things won't change. You can still solo old content. So they know that we're interested in all this stuff, but they know what they're doing. And I want to say that we should leave it to them and trust them to do what is right for the game. Because at the end of the day, it's their game, not ours. We just pay to play it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And we're going to try to get a picture video done for you maybe within the week. And we'll get some more information out to you when we can. remember to check out Coffee Talk for some more in-depth coverage on the subject. Check out my other videos, and I hope you enjoy them. And I want to say a big thank you video is coming to a lot of people. Hope you enjoy. See you guys in the next episode. Peace out.